Hello, everyone. It's just gone 2 o'clock Tuesday afternoon, and you know what that means, right? It is, in fact, Technique Tuesday. It is the 12th of March, 2024, and we have a new technique today. Well, it's not really a new technique, but a technique that you may or may not have seen. So, how is everyone? Are you well? I'm just having a little look through the comments. I see Monique was here, but way too early at 4 a.m. over there, Monique. Go to bed. I hope you're having a rest. And maybe you'll watch the replay later. As Margaret suggested. Hi, Margaret. Nice to see you. Sunny's here. Christine is here. Marsha from Texas. Hi, Marsha. How are you? I have a friend. She's actually from the US herself. She's lived in Australia though for about 30 years. So I don't think she thinks of herself as American really anymore. But she has a little kitten, and the kitten's about 4 or 5 months old, and its name is Marsha. So that's what that reminds me of. Hey Kay, nice to see you there. Yes, very well, thank you. Hello, Donna. Hi. Hey, Margaret. Margaret Janowski, how are you going? Yes, we are well. Did your order arrive yet, Margaret, or is it coming soon? I hope you got it. And then we have Janine. Hi, Janine. 9 p.m. Yes, I heard that the times have changed. So you went back, is that right? Or did you? No, you went forward. Lost an hour of sleep. We'll be going back to non-daylight saving in about I think about 3 weeks. 3 weeks away for us. Beginning of April, early April. Hello, Barbara. Nice to see you. Hi. Please, if you haven't said hello and you've never been with us before, say hello. This is the friendliest crowd ever. They are awesome, and people will reach out and say hello, and they'll want to know things like where you are from and all that sort of stuff, and I love finding that out too. How have you been, Deb? Are you good? I hope you're well. Denise, hello. Holly's here. Nairi's here. Ronnie's here. Goodness me, we have a great crowd. Ina is here, and Gina in Canada. Hello. Hi, Glenda. Hi, Laurie. From Ohio. My husband was living in Ohio before he moved to Australia, so there you go. He's from Michigan, though. So there you go. Let me have a little look. And Margaret Burkett is from Illinois. It's lovely to hear where you're all from. All right. I'm going to have to actually stop looking at the comments because otherwise we won't get anything done, because I would just love to chat to you guys all day. I do have a question for the demonstrators out there. Who is heading to Onstage this week? In the US, Onstage is in Houston, Texas, and everyone's heading down there, all the people who can go. In Australia here, we're going to Melbourne. And we leave I leave Thursday morning, and I'll be down there until Sunday night. Not sure yet if I'm going to get back in time to do a Sunday night video, but we will find out. I will let you know as early as I possibly can if Sunday night doesn't happen. So, but Friday night I'm pre-recording, so there will be a video on Friday night, but it will be pre-recorded. That's okay, Nairi. Maybe next time. And we should find it. I'm wondering, as I'm sure other people are wondering, whether they will tell us at the end of this on stage where the next one will be. They may or may not, but that would be great to know that ahead of time so people can start planning early, right? Hi, Lynn. Nice to see you. Long time no talk, right? Okay. All right. You're in Melbourne, Denise. Yes, I can't wait to see you there. We need to have a Melbourne coffee together. That would be awesome. Oh, Holly's going to Houston. Fantastic. That's really, really great. Now, in Europe, it's in Rotterdam, somewhere I have never been. I would love to go one day, though. So that sounds like fun. All right. So we have lots and lots of cool things going on. I just gave myself a thumbs up. I'm not sure how I did that. Oh, you leave tomorrow. Denise. Well, I will see you down there, but I'm not leaving until Thursday morning. So I'll be down there about lunchtime Thursday. So, okay. All right. Let's change over to the desk, and I'm going to pop it over here. Not a lot going on there at the moment, is there? All right. So, we've still got our 2 catalogs. We've got the mini catalog, this one here. If there's anything that you want that you see me using today, those things you can reach out if you're not sure, but the things that you see will be available either in this catalog or in the annual catalog. And I'm going to be referring to this one because, as you can see, this is my very much loved dog-eared copy that I use as a reference. And I'll bring you back to that in just a moment because we're going to use some things out of that today. And yes, you might have seen what's on my desk. Who can see what it is here that we have? It's vellum, right? So I am doing a vellum technique today, and everyone knows I love vellum, but I think there are so many different things you can do with vellum. It's a much underutilized medium, in my opinion, of course. But we're going to do alcohol on vellum today. Now, some of you may have seen this technique before. Some of you may not. But what I'm interested in, I'd like to have a show of hands in the comments. I'd like to know if you have actually tried this particular technique, okay? Indeed, it is the good stuff, Chris. You are correct. So my question for you is, have you tried alcohol on vellum? You might have seen it, but have you tried it for yourself? And I'm going to show you step by step what you need to do. So there's a couple of things we're going to need. We're going to need alcohol markers. You haven't tried it, Nairi? There you go. I've done this not for a while, actually. This is, I decided to do this probably about half an hour ago. And I have done it many times, but not recently. So it'll be fun to play with it again. But it's the look of like alcohol ink on Yupo papers. It's that kind of look, but we're going to do it with our vellum. Okay. You have done it, Margaret. And Gina says she's done it as well, but Ronnie says she hasn't tried it. So we've got some who've done it and some who haven't done it. And you probably already know, for those of you who've done it, you probably know exactly what you like to do with it and how, but I'll show you how I do it. So I'm going to be using alcohol markers. Now, in Stampin' Up world, we use blends. Okay, that's these guys, these ones right here. And they are fantastic. You've got a skinny end and a fat end, and you can draw on all kinds of things. Now, because they're alcohol markers, they work on porous and non-porous materials. So you can use them on metal and they will color it. You can use them on glass. You can use it on acetate, all sorts of things. And of course, we're going to use ours on vellum. But then there's another thing that we need to really get a great result, and that is we need isopropyl alcohol. Okay, now I'm using one here in Australia. I bought this one at Bunnings. So you can go to a hardware store, or you can go, Bunnings is like a Home Depot kind of place here in Australia. But the really important thing is, whatever, some of you may have seen the isocol, the little green bottle with the crocodile on the side. The isocol alcohol is not strong enough for this technique. And in fact, before I knew what I was doing and before I knew how to do this, I didn't know why I couldn't get this to work and look good. Okay, so you need to have a very high percentage of alcohol. Okay, this one is, I think it's 100%. Let me see if I can see that somewhere. Pretty sure it is, but it doesn't even, does it even say? Yeah, 100% isopropanol. Okay, so you need something close. Anything about 90 and above is going to be okay. So anything, I think isocol is like 70 or something like that, and that's not strong enough. So that's really, really important. Do follow the safety precautions on the side. For example, do not swallow. This is not that kind of alcohol, okay? Do not. Not that it would be very nice anyway, and don't put it anywhere near an open flame or anything else. It's extremely flammable, so be really, really careful. All right, so we're going to have a little play with this, okay? And I thought I will just play with a couple of my favorite colors to start with. Let me show you, first of all, one I've done previously. Okay, so this is one that I did previously, and you've got that beautiful kind of dappled, mottled look. Okay, this is on a piece of very thin vellum. This is a vellum that we used to have, the vellum layering ones. We had them a couple of catalogs ago, and it's super thin. Okay, it's a little bit too thin, to be honest. Okay, it works, it looks terrific, but I did a couple of these. There's another one, and because it's such thin vellum, it actually I don't know if you can see it, it's stuck down, but it's actually a little bit buckled because the vellum, I think, is too thin. All right, so that's just a bit of advice. So our vellum that we use here, the Stampin' Up vellum, is actually a really good thickness for this. It's nice and thick. So this is our A4 vellum cardstock, or if you're in the US, letter cardstock, whatever you're using. And it's really lovely and thick. All right, there's 20 sheets in a pack. If you don't have vellum in your supplies, can I please suggest you do yourself a favor and give this a try? Okay, even if you're doing it, using it for other things or for die cutting or something else. Another thing vellum is great for that doesn't get a lot of chat is if you have a really, really busy, bright design, say, for example, you're looking at some paper and it's just a little bit over the top for you, you can put a layer of vellum over the top of it to tone it down. It looks fantastic. So that's something else you can do with vellum. I just think, yes, good tip. Glenda is absolutely right. Okay. So Glenda's right, using a well ventilated room. Exactly. I've got the fan going on, the overhead fan going on in here. If you have, I do have a customer who struggles to do things with alcohol because she has asthma and it affects her. So we always make sure that we either do it, we spray it outside, or we make sure there's a fan going and there's plenty of airflow. So just a couple of little things, couple of little tips as you're setting up for this. Now I'm actually going to put my mats have had a hard life, but I'm going to put it on here because I think we'll be able to see it better than on the mat. Okay, so and I'm going to just pick a couple of colors I like. I've grabbed a couple out earlier. I'm going to use Granny Apple Green because I love it. Starry Sky, that's the light one, I think. And I'm deciding whether to go Tahitian Tide or Pretty Peacock. Which one of those do we like? They both look good. Can I make a suggestion too? When you do this, use, in my opinion, 2 or 3 colors. Because if you use too many colors, it can get muddied. Okay, it can really kind of get a bit messy. But if you use just a couple of colors, they seem to work well together. And try and choose complementary or contrasting colors. Colors that are opposite on the color wheel, because then you'll get the most contrast and the most effective striking kind of patterns. Tahitian, Peacock. I'm just looking to see what people have said. Icicle 64. There you go. I knew it wasn't over 70. So there, yes, it's not enough. So don't use Icicle for this particular technique. It's good for other techniques, but not so much for this one. And I noticed Marty said 100%. You have 91 and 99.9. They will also be fine. Okay, they will also do a good job. All right, so I'm going to pull in a couple of colors. The other thing is you get to choose whether you want dark or light. So I'm deciding maybe I'll use the dark Tahitian. I'm going to use the fat end, which is, see how there's a skinny line here and a fat line here. So this is the end that we would use that has the brush. Okay, and I'm just going to scribble straight onto my vellum, and I'm going to do it kind of randomly and, you know, just add some color to this. So it's a very, very easy technique. This is the light Starry Sky. Let's see how this looks. And how much you add is totally, completely up to you. And we're going to be random about it. So I'm going to throw in some, is this the dark? I think it is the dark. Yeah, it is the dark. Oh, it doesn't matter. Really doesn't matter to get the effect. And you'll notice the other thing is the blends dry really, really quickly. So like that, the green that I just did is still a bit wet. You can see how it's kind of dried very fast. Can you see where you can see the green is still a bit wet, but the rest of it is already dry? Okay, and it's fine for I'm adding quite a lot of green to this. I don't know why, but I just am. All right, so I'm just got my colors going in here. Now this particular one has a spray top. All right, spray top is a handy thing to have because you can actually and I'm going to take it off the mat now. Because you can actually like splatter it across by using the spray, or you can drip it on, or you can take the lid off. And I would say play with some different things. So I'm just going to, you know, do a few drops here. I'm just going to be very random about it. And straight away you can see the alcohol reacting with the blends. Okay, so it's a great effect. Isn't this fantastic? I love it. And it's quick. And it, you know, super, super easy. All right, now, if you really like what you've got there, okay, and you think it's dark enough, you could allow it to dry, or we can hit it with a heat tool because we're doing a video, so I think hitting it with a heat tool is a good idea. Just be aware that your paper might curl a little bit, and that's okay because we're going to be gluing it down at some point anyway. So these colors here have gone really light, but if you wanted to, you can always come back in and add some more once it's dry. Okay, I wouldn't add it while it's wet because you don't want to mess up the end of your blends, but you could certainly. But see how now the droplets that we had on here are starting to even out. So I'm not finished with this. I'm actually going to play with it a bit more, and I'm going to bring my heat tool in, which is just here on the desk, and switch it on at the wall. Can you see how it's getting light and the paper's buckling up a little bit now? But it's good fun, right? Let me see. All right, I'm just going to use the light. I'm not going to have, I like that this heat tool has 2 speeds, but the lowest speed is enough. You don't need, because it's going to dry really fast anyway. Now, what we want to see is some of this like where the color has pooled around the edge, it forms like a darker line. I really love that. I think that looks really, really good. Okay, so I'm going to come in, I'm going to add a bit more color. Is this the light one? They said this was the dark one, but I'm going to come in, I want to add some more of this because I think it could use some more. So you really can, keep adding color, keep on mucking around with it as much as you like. You can see it's got a little bit of a different texture to it now because it does recognize that there's some alcohol already on the paper. But let's throw a little bit more color in here because it is quite green, but I don't mind that. And like I said, no right or wrong. Now I use the dark granny apple green, but you could use the light one if you thought it was too dark. If you're happy with a bit, you don't need to touch it again. Okay, just leave it as it is. I like some of this better than others, but really it's just play. And I think that's what I love about it, is it's a playful technique. You don't know what it's going to turn out like. It's just going to be really, really random. You haven't done it for ages? Yeah, it's good fun, isn't it? Now, let me show you what happens if I use the spray tip before we dropped it on. So I'm going to hold it kind of down low over here where my hand is, and I'm going to spray across the desk so that I get it spraying across rather than spraying top down. So you'll get different effects depending on what angle you spray from. All right, I'm liking this. All right, so let's see how this goes. And this time I've added less just by doing a very light spray, but the color looks terrific. What do we think? Do we like this? I'm going to go and use my low volume of my, sorry, not low volume, my low speed of my heat tool again. And then I'm going to set this aside for a minute, and we might do another one in a minute. I've got a whole bunch of pieces here, so we can do a few different ones, and I'll let you guys select. You guys can choose some colors. I don't have all the blends though, and I realized I really want to fix that. I really would like to have all the blends that are currently available. Like I don't have, is there Melon Mambo blends? Because I don't have, and that's actually why I had this catalog out. Let me put that aside. The pages where the blends are, which is with all the colors and things, almost there. I have actually ticked which ones I have. And anywhere where there's a number in this bottom, I don't have Misty Moonlight, for example. But the color I was looking at, I would like to get Melon Mambo because I don't have a hot pink. I realized when I went to do this, a bright pink would have been really nice because I wanted to like put hot pink with yellow and orange. And I realized I don't have a hot pink. I don't have Melon Mambo, and I don't have Flirty Flamingo either. So I will need to fix that and get those ones because I think they're really nice. So it is a great technique. Okay, so if you haven't tried this, can I suggest that you get yourself a bottle of close to 100% alcohol, like I said, from Bunnings or wherever, and you can see now this one is dried really nicely. All right, so the first application, it kind of spread the color out by me doing big droplets, and then by spraying very lightly across for my second one, I get more of this little splatter kind of thing. Isn't that cool? Oh, it's okay, Suzanne. That's fine. It is similar, yes. If you use water on water-based inks, so for example, if I was to use my blending brushes with my classic inks and then splatter water across it, then I will get a very similar effect. But for this to actually look like alcohol markers, it works best on vellum. Okay, it does really gives it a lovely finish. All right, we might come back to this one, but something I do want to show you is the color that you put underneath this is going to determine the finish that you get. Okay, good. I'm glad you haven't tried it, and I'm glad you're going to. That's awesome. So, for example, if I put white behind this, see how this becomes very bright. It's really lovely. It looks terrific on white. Okay, but if I was to choose a different color, for example, if I was to choose Tahitian Tide, okay, I'm going to get a different. It's going to be quite a bit different. Okay, totally different. I find you get the best result if you pop it on white, but you can try it with different colors to pull some colors out more than others. So I could use any of the colors in here or a toned down version of it. Okay, but I do really like it on the white. I think it looks really nice. So let me have a little look here. I've got some white pieces. Now this one I have cut to be exactly the same size as this one, and then we could put it on there and then mount it perhaps on the Tahitian Tide or the Starry Sky. I would pick one of the colors that have been picked out of here, and that's going to look really, really nice. Okay, so there's lots of, think about the color you're putting underneath, because that's going to show through your color. Show through your vellum. All right, shall we do another one? It does look a bit like hydrangeas. You certainly could, if you have a stamp and you have stamped, like maybe embossed an image, you could use your colors behind and do an amazing like creation behind. So, we could actually, I'm wondering if I should try that. Maybe I won't today, but I might do that for another card that I might put up. You had to go and get your glasses. Well, that's important. I can't operate without mine, that's for sure. Would it look okay on a white mat on a colored card base? Yes, absolutely. Definitely. In fact, I think that would be probably my favorite way to use it. All right, let's use another one, and let's pick some. I don't have Gorgeous Grape in the blends. I have Orchid Oasis, and I have Highland Heather. I have those purples in the blends, but don't have Gorgeous Grape. I'm just wondering, does Gorgeous Grape even come in blends? Does it? Let's have a look and see. Gorgeous Grape. No, there is no Gorgeous Grape Stampin' Blend. There you go. That's why I don't have it, because it's got a big fat dash there where it would have a number if it was actually a color that it had. So yeah, the blends doesn't come in Gorgeous Grape. So when you see a dash, it means we don't have the blends in that particular color. Okay, so all the subtles have a blend. The Regals, Crushed Curry, Garden Green, and Gorgeous Grape do not have blends in those colors. And Early Espresso and Basic Grey in the neutrals do not come in the blends. Over here, all the in colors do. The only bright color that you can't get in a blend is Coastal Cabana. So we have most of the colors, but there is a few here and there that we don't have. Orchid Oasis, says Donna. Okay, that's probably pretty close. So let's give that one a try. All right, so I've got my Orchid Oasis here. And then what other colors would we like to have with that? Let me see. I'm looking at all the comments. Oh, never too late, Linda. That's fine. You just show it when you can. And I think that that's how it should be. Just you can always watch the replay. So Donna said Gorgeous Grape and Daffodil Delight. So yes, we could go Daffodil Delight because I do have daffodil. In fact, I've got brand new daffodil that I haven't even opened yet. So those would look good. But what would we pick another color to go with those maybe? So maybe pumpkin pie. That would be an interesting colorway. Look at these. What do you think about those? Or something different. You know, we could whack in some I mean, really, you could do anything you like. So any colors that you like. I don't have Flirty Flamingo, Glenda. I'm so sorry. Those Flirty Flamingo and Melon Mamba are on my list to get. I must get those two because I don't really have any pinks. Only Bubble Bath is the only pink I have. Maybe a green, says Smarty. Do you know what? I don't know why they don't have every color. It's kind of interesting to me. It'd be very interesting. I might ask that question at some point. I wonder why they don't have a blend in every color. A green, a bright green. So we could go with, I mean, that's quite nice. The yellow changes it up, that's for sure. So these would be good. Well, I'm going to do pretty much the same thing. I'm just going to use different colors, Linda. So we've just done this, okay, with Tahitian Tide, Granny Apple Green, and Starry Sky. And now I'm using a couple of different colors. So Calypso Coral. Oh, okay, let's have a look and see how that would look. That would be interesting. Yeah, we could do those. All right, so let's start. I might just start with the Orchid Oasis. This is the light one, and I don't know whether I want to. I could always step it up to the dark one. So we'll see. Maybe I'll do a bit of both. Let's try some dark in here. It's quite a bit darker, isn't it? Look at that. It's a lot of difference between them. I'm doing both. How about that? And then I'm thinking some yellow. Oh, fresh freesia. That would look good too. You think the pumpkin might turn it brown with the purple? It's possible. Right, this is a brand new daffodil I haven't even opened yet. So it's open now. All right, so we've got those two there. Oh, berry burst. I don't know whether this is, there's a couple of options, but I think you guys are right. We might need to, everyone's got a different color. I'm looking at all the choices. Oh, a red. Well, the reds I have, I've got Poppy Parade. I've got Real Red and Cherry Cobbler. I think Cherry Cobbler is too dark, but this could be interesting. We've got Poppy Parade. Shall we try that and see what happens? You know, we don't like it. All we've lost is a piece of vellum, really. So I'm just going to go in there and we're going to use some Poppy. All right, so I'm just randomly colouring. Then I'm going to get and I'm going to put my mat underneath just to make it so you can sort of see the colours better on there. All right, it's going to be different. I had no idea what we're going to do. So up to you if you want to spray first or drop. Okay, I just sprayed from above. This is going to give me a different effect to the previous time where I sprayed it cross. And you can see it's starting to mix straight away. So here it's really thick, so it's just blending. So I'm just going to add some drops over here. And see how it's sort of spreading? So it is a bit of fun. But, you know, it's one of those things that you just need to keep playing with it. Oh, isn't this interesting where the red's going into the purple? Look at that. I'm going to put it on the low setting. And we'll dry this off. And as you can see, it's drying quite quickly. I've got more colour over here, so sorry, more alcohol over here. Well, look at those colours. That's actually pretty nice. I kind of like it. The color. All right, but I feel like because it's running off the edges because I used more alcohol, I'm thinking I might go ahead and start coloring a bit more towards the edges so it doesn't look like it's off in some places and not in others. And then this is the light one. I think I used the dark before. What do you think about that? That's kind of cool. I'm going closer to the edges with this one just because why not? All right. Oh, that's okay. That's completely fine. I don't think I have berry burst either. All the pinks. That's where I've realized I have a gap in my colors because I don't have the pinks. So, all right. So I'm going to spray across because this is kind of smoothed out now. So I want to get that splattery kind of a look. So I'm spraying across. And I'm very, very light spray. Ew, it looks good. What do you think, guys? Do we like this? Let's hit it with the heat tool and just dry that off. If you have the time to just let it dry by itself, great. I'm only doing this really for the purpose of the video. But by using the low setting on my heat tool, my vellum will not buckle as much, okay? Because vellum's pretty delicate. You want to treat it with care. All right, I'm liking this. I don't know if you can see it, but it gets sort of shiny where, can you see kind of there you go. Almost looks like embossing on some of the edges, but the shine actually is on the edges of the, see there's some there. Look at that. Isn't that cool? It's just fun. All right, so this is what I would call a fun technique. And it's something that if you haven't tried it, grab yourself some alcohol markers or blends if you have them and apply it to some nice thick vellum so that you can get a really great effect for your cards. All right, so I think I've got, is this the right size? So I'm going to put this on white. Once again, I could put it on any of the colors, but the darker the color underneath, the less of the colors and the design you will see. So go with something light or go with white because I think that shows off the colors the best. Okay. You like the spraying effect the best? Yeah, me too. I like it too. All right. So how do we attach this? A couple of things you can do. I've gone and used my wanted to say dies, which are in our annual catalog, and I've cut out the happy birthday sentiment. And if you have some nice words like from dies, or if you have word stickers or something like that, these show up really, really nicely on a colored background like this. Okay, looks really, really good. The other thing is these dies, let me just find them for you very quickly because I've just dumped a million things on top of them here on my desk. All right, here they are. These are called, like I said, wanted to say. We have a few dies that have word sets. They have the words, the happy birthday that I've cut out, but then they also have like an under piece that like highlights the words. So I could, if I wanted to, pop this under here and we could make this any color we like for the under piece. All right, so for example, I could pick out one of the colors. So orchid is on here. Maybe the orchid would look really good, so maybe I will do that. Let me grab some Orchid Oasis cardstock. Don't forget that Orchid Oasis is one of the colors that is retiring, which means that this color, you won't be able to get it much longer. So if you don't have it, but you want it before it goes, it's available in inks, cardstock. There's embellishments. There's all sorts of things, including blends that match these colors. Okay, so make sure, if you have the inks, make sure you've got the refills. Otherwise, once they go, you won't be able to get them anymore. And then if you have the refills, they will last you for years. So I'm just cutting that happy birthday that I just mentioned. So this is the die, and there it is there. And then what I'm going to do with this, I'll put this back in. These are, for anyone who's wondering about the Wanted to Say dies, they are a standalone, I'll just leave them there for now, standalone die set, which means they don't have a matching set of stamps. They're just by themselves. And that's kind of cool because you have all these lovely greetings that you can use on different cards. Very handy. All right, so I'm going to pop. Now, if I was really smart, I would have cut this out with some adhesive sheets. But if you haven't been smart enough to do that, you can use Tombow very lightly. I can get it to come on. Come on, Tombow. I know you're in there. Oh, of course, it comes out on something else. There we go. Isn't that always the way? All right, so I've got my happy. Got a bit of Tombow just behind. I just dotted a little bit here and there. And I'm just going to pop this on here. And straight away you can see that this really highlights it so that then I could use it on here and it's going to really stand out. Okay, so I do all the greetings in here. You've got a happy birthday, you've got to celebrate, you've got to feel better soon, and I forget what the other one is. It's in the catalogue. We'll have a look in a second. So it's in the annual catalogue with the dies in alphabetical order up the back. Okay, so it's called Wanted to Say. Because these are all things you might want to say, right? All right, so I'm happy with that. All right, so I said a moment ago I would tell you how to attach this. So the first thing is if you are putting on a greeting or something like this, okay, I'm going to use dimensionals behind here. So I'm going to pop this up. One here, one here. You don't need very many, just sort of strategically place them. Maybe one in the middle there. And they fit quite well. If you have the minis, you could use the minis as well. But I'm using just normal size dimensionals. Right. So I'm going to pop this here and I'm going to, oh, better put it on the right way. Not that it matters. There's no real right or wrong, is there, with this? Okay, so I'm going to put this happy birthday right there, like that. Looks good. And then I could put dimensionals behind here and you wouldn't see them, and that would be enough, or, you know, glue dots or whatever, or even just normal glue, and pop that straight on so my adhesive is behind here. Now, because we've colored this, it's a little bit more forgiving. So you could use glue dots to stick it down. I probably wouldn't use like tape or seal because you'd see the line of adhesive through the edges here. But you could use glue dots here and there, and the circular shape of the glue dots would fit right in with your pattern there. Okay, so that's a possibility. Another thing I like to do is I like to get, let me just see if I have some handy. I like to get a piece of sponge. Now, we used to sell sponges. We don't anymore. I think today that's the only thing I'm showing that you can't purchase from me. Everything else is available for purchase. The paper, the blends. Oh, not the alcohol. The alcohol comes from the hardware store. So, yeah, you would need to go somewhere for that. Oh, I don't seem to have a sponge in my bag. So let me grab one from over in the drawer. So what you want to do is you want to have like a sponge, and if you've had sponges in the past, you can cut them down so they're nice and small. They don't have to be big. Okay, so this is the size sponge we used to sell. Okay, we don't have these anymore, but you can use craft sponge from any store that you need to pick one up. I always did this with mine. I cut them in half and half again, and sometimes even half again, and then I've got a million different, well, not a million, but I've got 8 sponges that I can use. And then what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to use, oh, where's my silicone mat? Goodness me, I should have thought to have all these things ready today, but I did not. I need to buy some more silicone mats actually, but that's okay. I'll just clean this up after. I'm just going to pop a little bit of glue. Actually, let me do it on here. I'm going to use this little mat. We don't have these anymore, guys. They were a joining special that came with the glass mat, but keep an eye out because at some point I'm hoping they're going to be available again. That is the plan, right? So I'm going to actually use my bit of sponge to pick up my glue so it's all over here, and then I pound around on my vellum, and by doing this your glue will not be seen through the vellum. So this is a good little trick anytime you want to use vellum but you aren't sure how to go about sticking it, and you can see it's getting quite tacky. Okay, so now we've got vellum with glue on the back, and then we're just going to stick that straight on this piece of white paper that I have measured to be exactly the same size as my vellum. All right. What do we think? Do we like this? It's a bit of fun. And I think maybe you could throw some, if you had some, like little balloons or some, in the wanted to say dies, we have some little stars, some gold stars would be nice. Let me see, do I have? See, I've got like little stars, these here. I've got hearts, I've got some little flowers, I've got all sorts of things actually. But maybe some little gold stars would look really good. And what color will we have behind? Do you think Orchid Oasis maybe? We could do that. So let me grab got my stars there. I'm going to measure this to be 10 centimeters wide. In the US, you'd make this 4 inches wide for your card front size by 5 1/4, I believe. And this is 14.3. All right, and this is going to go straight on here like this. So I'm going to, now that I've got the white back on there, I don't need to worry about using a sponge. I can just go ahead and put my glue straight on, whatever glue you like to use. Yeah, it is very bright and happy, and I think it'd make a great kids card. Like if you wanted, I mean anybody, but you know, I think it'd be really nice for kids in these colors. I don't know. Which one do we like the best? So this one would go on here, and I would do probably the same thing on here. I'd have a white or even a gold happy birthday, and then or silver, and then you know a piece behind. I think that would look really nice. So I'm just using this one today. Grab a card base. They are a bit like Lego blocks. I didn't think of that, but you're right. They are. There you go. Chris has just told us the wanted to say dies include the following sayings. You're too kind. That's the one I missed. Happy birthday. Feel better soon. Celebrate. And then the little flowers, hearts and stars. So super cute set. Of course, we find out next weekend. Well, this weekend. Oh, my goodness. We find out. I'm just going to use a sanding block to... We don't sell these anymore either. Goodness me. There's a few things today I know I'm using that you can't get. But this is just basically fine grade sandpaper. I'm just using that along the edge of my paper, which has got a little bit of a... It had a little bit of a ragged edge. So, and that was because my blade on my trimmer needs replacing. And I think I said that last weekend. So I think it's needed replacing for a while. All right, so there we go. They're a lot of fun, these, right? And what do you think? Do you think some gold stars would work well on here? It might. That might be a bit of fun too. You can have the stars all attached to each other like this, or you can separate them. I kind of like them. I kind of like them all joined together. I think that's a really nice A really nice look. And look, it looks like you've been really clever and done lots of difficult artwork here, but it's so easy to do. So easy. I'm so glad you like them, guys. Yeah, the blue, this blue cardstock is actually the Orchid Oasis, so it's sort of halfway. It's somewhere between blue and purple, really. But I've gone with the cut one of the, because the Orchid Oasis is what's in here as well. But it kind of looks blue, I know, but it is kind of purpley. This one, Starry Sky, I think of Starry Sky as more blue than purple. So this is Starry Sky. And then this is Orchid Oasis. See the difference? So one is more like a darker purpley navy kind of a color, and this is definitely like mid-range. They would make lovely cards for kids, I agree. But I would give a card like this to anyone to cheer them up. I think that would work really well. You could have a feel better soon and send that to somebody, and that would hopefully cheer them up a little bit. What do you think? Do we like these? Oh, there you go, Sheila. It's very, very easy. Okay, such an easy technique. And I hope you guys like that today. How did we go? Does anyone have any questions for me? Yes, good mail cards. Didn't think of that. Oh, that's okay. It is nice to revisit old techniques sometimes, Margaret. But it's just fun. This, to me, is just fun. And I love techniques where you don't actually know what the end result is going to be. You don't know how it's going to turn out until you do it. I think that's really cool. So that's something to think about, that you don't have to have not everything has to be perfect all the time. Sometimes it's okay just to play. Yes, Donna, you certainly could gold emboss on top. Absolutely. So Donna asked the question, if you have an alcohol background that is dry, can you gold emboss on top? Yes, you can. I would probably, if I was going to gold emboss straight onto the vellum surface, I would use my embossing buddy before I Versamarked. So, or before I put my pigment ink down and before I put my powder down. So I would use an embossing buddy to rub over in case there was still any stickiness or any moisture at all left over from the blends technique. That's what I think would work. Thank you so much, Ronnie. I am very excited about on stage. Let's just come back. I'm just going to come back to me. Here I am. There I am. So, yeah, I am very excited. It's going to be a lot of fun. And the thing I love about Stampin' Up! Events is seeing old friends that you haven't seen for a long time, and sometimes seeing friends that you have seen, but it's just nice to see them in that environment. So, you know, I get to see Denise and I get to see Ellen a lot locally because they live in my local area, but seeing them at on stage is different, you know. And I'm staying with a very dear friend who currently lives in Adelaide. She's going to be there, and we're going to share a room together. And another team member from the Hunter Valley is staying with us as well. And so it's just going to be really, really fun because it's sort of something completely out of our environment. It takes us away from everything that we've got going on here at home and gives us a whole new environment to create and craft in, and which is fantastic. Yes, I believe it's going to be quite cool because it's 30 something or around 30 degrees, I think, here today. And then on Thursday, it's meant to be 35 or 36 here. And Melbourne's going to be 20. So, yeah, I'm taking a jacket. I think that might be in order, and an umbrella apparently as well. So, so for any of my friends going to Melbourne, you may need an umbrella and you probably need a jacket. So just those couple of things. To lovely weather due. Oh, I hope so. I hope so. We will have a good time and on stage, and I'm hoping that some more of the girls from here will be able to come with us next time. I'm very excited to see the new catalogue and to play with some new products. That's going to be a heap of fun. Can I just tell you that I get a lot of inspiration from the catalogue for these techniques, and something I'm always excited about whenever they bring a new catalogue out is what items lend themselves to techniques that I maybe haven't shown yet. So, for example, just thinking, you know, things I can do with a particular product. So, say, for example, right now we have embossing pastes. So when those first came out, one of the first things I did was organize classes and technique things with embossing paste, because that was something we hadn't had before, something that meant that I had a new technique to show. So I'm excited to see if there's anything like that in the catalogue. That's something I go looking for. We don't know yet, Sheila. That's exciting, isn't it? In the last time we had a 3-day event like this was Auckland in 2019, and of course 2020 COVID happened and everything fell apart. But this is our first 3-day event since Auckland in 2019, and this one's in Melbourne. So we've had single-day events in Sydney, but I don't know where the next one will be. So I'm hoping, to be honest, I like it when it's Sydney. Canberra's not too bad either because it's only 3 hours drive for us, or for me from here. But I like it when they're in Sydney because more of my girls can attend. This time we have 12 in our team going, which is still fabulous, and I'm excited to see all of them. But when the most we've ever had a one-day event was in Sydney, and we had over 50 of our team there that time. So that was really cool. So there you go. I wonder what the new colours will be. I might have got a hint about one of the colours, but we'll see. I'm sworn to secrecy. How soon will I be showing new products? As soon as I have them. As soon as they arrive, I can start showing some of those things. So there you go. Yes, we get our own copy of the new catalogue at On Stage. That is one of the advantages of going to On Stage, is getting the new catalogue first. Does anyone have any other questions? I can see the questions coming in. So, that's true. Although our, Susan, our hotel, I think, is about 10 minutes walk from the convention centre, and I don't think there's a lot of cover between where we're staying and the convention centre, so we might need an umbrella for that. Yes, Judy, you are correct. Somebody accidentally dropped the name of a new colour. That's right. I'm not allowed to say who, and I'm not allowed to say what it was. But it was a very funny moment, I can tell you that, because that person was quite embarrassed that they accidentally did that. It was pretty funny. Yes, I think a jacket is a good idea. I have a blazer. I have like a black blazer that sort of dresses everything up. So that's kind of a good thing to throw on. I've been very carefully working out what I need to take, and how many things do I need. And I was telling some of my girls on our team group yesterday that I've heard of a thing called the 5-4-2-3-2-1 packing method. So that's five tops, 4 bottoms, 3 pairs of shoes, 2 layering pieces such as jackets or something like that. I usually wear a denim jacket. In fact, I think my denim jacket is just behind me right here, but and my blazer. So they're my layering pieces. So there you go. Oh, thank you so much. Look, it's going to be a fantastic time, and I can't wait to share some of those things with you. I still don't know whether I'm going to be back in time. Well, I know I'll be back in time to do my Sunday video, but whether I'm going to have the energy after traveling all day, I don't know. So if I don't, I will put up a note to say that it's been cancelled on Sunday night. So that's a possibility. But Friday night I am pre-recording. In fact, I'm going to do that this afternoon. So there we go. $1 million sales stamp. Ooh. Do I have one? No, I'm nowhere close to 1 million yet. Thanks, Margaret. I mean, one day, I'm sure one day I would love to be able to design my own stamp set. That'd be fun. The PDF of the new catalogue will become available for demos. I believe it is either the 18th or the 19th. So we come back from On Stage on the 17th. So that's Sunday. So I think it's Tuesday, the 19th, but it's possible. I think maybe it's the 18th in the US and the 19th here. Am I going to put up photos of what exactly, Marilyn? Of things at On Stage, do you mean? Or we're not allowed to show any product early because that's like a On Stage perk? No, I don't know of any. And you know what, Ronnie? We've been told to wait. They should wait anyway because they're negotiating something for the Close to My Heart demos. So that will be something for them to wait for. It'll be in their interest to wait a little while to see what's going to happen there. I will. I know that's sad you can't go this year, Rosalie. Yes, I don't do swaps because I do team gifts. So that's what I'm doing. Let me see. Donna asked about demonstrators getting new catalogs early. The answer is yes. Lots of questions today. Oh, general scenes of what's happening. Yes, I can put up photos of people that I'm meeting, and probably some of the displays we can take photos, but there'll be some things we're not allowed to put up photos of until it's released for all demos. I'm excited for us all too. All right, you guys, well, it's been lovely spending an hour or so with you today. I think these turned out really, really nice. I really like them. So this one, and this is the one I haven't finished yet, but I'll make it into a card and we'll do something with it. Yeah, thank you so much for watching and for being part of choosing the colors and all the things. If you have any questions about this technique, reach out in the comments, or you can send me a message. And if you would like to purchase anything that I've used today, I will have the shopping link below the YouTube video. So all you do is you scroll down a little bit, and in the description where it says more, click that and you'll see all the information. So you're very, very welcome, ladies, and it's so nice that you're all here, and I will see you soon. Bye-bye.